To this news from late last night. If you weren't with us in the last hour, at least 16 people have been killed in a gas leak in Boksburg. The incident happening at Angelo Informal Settlement. Let's take you there to Heidi Giokos, our reporter on the ground for the very latest. Hello to you, Heidi. Terrible story. What have you been able to gather so far?
Yes, indeed, really tragic, given the fact that last year, December, we also had some sort of gas incident where 41 people lost their lives. Very different here, though, because we do understand that there was no explosion. What we have been told is that it seems to be an issue around illegal mining. But I want us to get some perspective, Gareth. We are joined by the MMC for Human Settlements, Marcela Madihlaba. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. Let's just start off with what you understand around the death toll. Last night we were told it's 24. We are hearing now it's 16.
Good morning to the viewers and eNCA. Yeah, I think the initial report indicated that there are 24 fatalities. But upon arrival, because I arrived here last night at 10 o'clock, we went inside with the emergency services, SAPS. And upon counting the bodies, we found that indeed it's not 24. The actual number is 16. So the cause of death is inhalation from a gas cylinder. Because initially they were saying there was an explosion, so we thought that there is people that got burnt. We found that it's an inhalation. So apparently there is illegal activity that is taking place. I think there is something that is manufactured, because you will see there are bags of soil. Probably they are manufacturing gold. So basically that's the main thing that happened. Okay. So people died from the inhalation of the substance that was in the cylinder.
What do we understand about the situation now? Because I think what's concerning is the fact that forensic pathology services are on scene at the moment. My colleague Teddy is showing those visuals. Have the bodies been removed?
We have just arrived now because we left in the early hours of the morning. So we are not too sure. I'm with the mayor on the black car. We were joined by the Premier Panyasali Suthi last night. So we just wanted to confirm. That's why we said let's come back in the morning so that we can talk from a verified information. Have
people been evacuated? Is the situation stable in terms of safety? Because if you're saying it's inhalation, is the area now safe?
Yeah, I think community members, there is a guy who closed the cylinder. So when we checked whether they need any kind of assistance, the indication is that they are fine. So there was no need for a panic. It's just an unfortunate incident that happened, but the community is fine. So, but we'll verify again, and then if there is latest information, we'll forward it to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, he's live, so he cannot hear you. Thank you so much for your time, MMC. I just want to get my colleague Teddy out of the way because this emergency vehicle is trying to move. It seems as though there's some movement. I'm not exactly sure what is going on at this point, but according to the MMC, they are still trying to assess the situation and figure out what is going on. We do know that the mayor is also here, but very worrying scenes, Gareth, to think that such a large forensic pathology services vehicle is here. We do know that 16 people have tragically lost their lives. We also do know that there are a number of people in hospital in critical condition. Some are also in hospital stable but critical, we've also been told. What's the tragedy in all of this is also that among those that have lost their lives include children. We were told 3. We're not exactly sure how many at this particular point. We do know that the Premier of Gauteng, Panyasali Suthi, is also on his way. You can see that pathology services, forensic pathology services, are busy at the moment. I'm presuming that this inhalation and the gas is obviously just behind this particular area over here. We've been told that we cannot get in at the moment because they are still trying to ascertain whether or not it is safe. But the issue of illegal mining is clearly a massive one, Gareth, because about last week, if I'm not mistaken, or the week before, we do know that there were also 8 bodies found in the Germiston area. So the issue around illegal mining is obviously becoming problematic and deadly. We're not exactly sure what could have sparked that tank with the gas leaking and obviously causing a deadly impact here in this community. We'll obviously have to get further details around that, but I must say that it's very chilling to see such a large forensic pathology vehicle here, and that's obviously because 16 people have tragically lost their lives.
Heidi, as we wait for the mayor to arrive a little bit later as well, do we have any sense at all what is going to happen with those residents that are still there? Are they being moved into shelters elsewhere as well? Do we know if it's safe for them to even stay where they are? Sort of what is the perceived contamination area? I'm trying to find a word that's not too dramatic in a case like this, but the sort of perceived dangerous area for them. What's the sort of knock-on effect for those living around where the leak was?
Yes, I did ask the MMC in terms of this area now being declared safe, if I can use that word, and he did say they are still trying to figure out what is going on, but they've obviously indicated to many residents that they obviously need to be extra cautious. And what I do think is important to highlight is that the MMC for Human Settlements did also indicate that there was a resident that actually closed off the gas cylinder that was obviously causing this deadly impact for the community here. So I think at this point it is a lot safer than obviously what it was yesterday. We do know that this incident took place just after 8 o'clock last night. So it was obviously a very volatile situation, and you can see there's a whole business running here. There are many community members. So obviously the impact was a rather serious one. I would have loved to try and engage with some community members. I'm just not exactly sure if any of them would want to engage. It seems as though they're all trying to turn the other way. I'm not sure if anybody would want to speak. Yeah, everyone just seems to be turning away. Obviously, people are slightly scared also, Gareth. I think it's really concerning, but you can see there's a fully fledged community here. It's obviously an informal settlement. People seem to be going about their days as per usual and as per normal, and they are clearly trying to just go about their days. It seems as though it's rather safe and not of concern in terms of that gas leak, not explosion.
Yeah.
And the MMC did indicate that cylinder was closed off.
And then for the moment, Heidi Giokos, while you try and ascertain what community members are feeling, maybe they'll talk to you off camera. We do know often with the reporters in the field, and many residents are a bit camera shy. They're scared they say the wrong thing as well. So we'll leave Heidi there for the moment. So confirmed 16 people having lost their lives at this informal settlement. Heidi Giokos, thank you. We'll come back to you a little bit later. But I also see, according to authorities on the ground, 32 patients in total were treated. So just to give you a sense of the scale of this problem, 32 patients were treated. Sadly, though, 16 people having passed away. Of course, we're going to stay on top of that story. We are in contact with various authorities, also Heidi on the ground for us this morning. Really a terrible story to wake up to this Thursday.